Name me one application on Web3 that serves a city or a community of any kind.
I should say the things have changed in some ways.
You know, who is the determinant of the public interest?
The more time people spend in digital worlds, the more of our lives we live there.
Intercoin, bringing power to the people. So Intercoin, the theme of Intercoin is blue and white, as you could see here. It's used to look better. We used to have parallax clouds over here. I don't know, it broke. We have to fix the parallax, okay?
Oh, okay.
But ultimately, as you scroll down, it's supposed to get darker. Again, we may have broken. Oh no, it's just okay. Very long roadmap. And then I don't know what happened to the parallax, but essentially what should happen is that this globe is supposed to stay on the screen as you scroll, and then a rocket flies out because, you know, to the moon or whatever. Yeah. So that was the now some people said this is kind of crazy, you don't need one of these, you know.
It kind of seems dated.
It seems dated, exactly. Personally, I mean, I thought it was a very nice way to show a lot of videos, but maybe there's better ways to show a lot of videos, essentially. But yeah, we need to make Intercoin look like, you said you liked qbix. It was clean, right?
Yeah.
And so intercoin.org is supposed to be about Web3. But then Jack Dorsey came out and combined Web 2 with Web 3. So he called it Web 5.
Okay.
No, but that's going to be a real thing soon. So what Web 5 essentially means is the user interfaces that you saw here that the users are using, okay, which is clean. It's clear what's happening, right? It's all here. And then behind the scenes, we start putting in smart contracts. And the thing about smart contracts is, for the first time in human history, smart contracts are programs that you can trust.
Right.
Code that what it says is going to do, you know it's going to do that thing. And that's really important, because now suddenly I can trust an election. Suddenly I can trust that my balance is safe. And only I, with my private keys, can move my balance or authorize a transaction.
Right.
Okay. So the community goes from having a website with one guy like myself who can just have the key to the entire kingdom, right? With a database, just delete, edit, go from that to
millions.
Exactly. Where each member, it decentralizes the power to each individual member.
Right.
So let's take a look at what kind of applications are possible with Intercoin. And of course, Intercoin benefits from all of the users
rotating the globe and exploring different countries
that we have around the world, right? So qbix users are going to become Intercoin users.
I see. Okay.
So that's kind of, it's both, you know, money we raise for Intercoin. Some of it goes to pay qbix to create more Web 2 interfaces like this. Which, by the way, they also work on mobile phones, which I didn't even show yet, but it basically looks like this on a mobile phone.
Okay.
And everything you put here, as you could see it, I've recently made these 3D effects so that when you open up one of these things, right, it goes ahead and opens like that, which I think is kind of cool. You know, you could drag it closed or you can close it. So all of it works on tablets, on phones, and whatever. That's what took us so long and so much money. So now we have we're the only ones in the world, basically, are this advanced. And I don't just say hyperbole. I really don't know anyone else that has all of these.
Try rotating the globe and exploring different countries.
So, okay. So what is Intercoin now? Intercoin builds on Web 2 and adds a bunch of Web 3. So these are the applications that you can do, Intercoin applications. Let's check it out. You could read the text, or there's also a deck. Probably the deck is more nice to look at. So Let's check it out.
Okay.
So going down memory lane. So Web 1.0 was a big game changer for the world. Okay. Before Web 1.0, you had gatekeepers. You had newspapers and magazines. You had radio and TV. Anytime that you wanted to get your message out to the world, you needed to talk to people at one of these. Right.
I'm just turning the light on here. I'm sorry.
No problem. Take your time.
Okay, that's better.
Okay, yeah, I see you now. So let's go down to Web 1.0. What did the web do? The web provided an open and permissionless platform that essentially disrupted all of these other platforms. So someone built a TV station, right? And now they're the gatekeeper, and they can put on one show for every time slot. And if you got that show, you paid them, you got your infomercial or your result or your cartoon, whatever it is, right? Now, on the web, you didn't need to ask anyone's permission. You simply used HTTP protocol, right? And the internet routed the message to your server. And so suddenly, even geographically, it became better. So you don't any longer have to, the TV station could only broadcast so far, right?
Right.
Newspapers could only deliver newspapers so far. But HTTP was global. So you could publish in Texas and have people in China read your website the next minute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's what was possible with Web 1.0. But the problem was that you needed people to know how to code and how to create these things. Okay. So Web 2.0 came about when people started to build websites with social features. Profiles, that was Facebook, right? Profiles, then people had chats, events, right? People plan to go somewhere. Then they added video conferencing, which is what we're doing here now, and e-commerce, okay? By the way, as an aside, all of these websites, Facebook, Google, Amazon, Twitter, all of them, are only possible because of Web 1.0. Because Web 1.0 was permissionless and anyone could build anything, is how we got all this innovation, okay? And trillions of dollars in wealth for the world. Imagine if instead, back in the day, people had these things. They had America Online, right? They had CompuServe, Prodigy. Remember these? Microsoft,
yeah.
MSN. What happened to them, right? What happened to them? In France, they had Minitel, this beloved little network for French people. How did the web disrupt all of them? So the web wasn't better technically on the client side than America Online. Okay, America Online was better. You came in and it said, you've got mail, right? And then it would give you instant messages and chats. Okay, the web didn't have instant messages. It didn't have chats, but it had something that AOL didn't have. None of these had. It was self-sovereignty. It was the idea that instead of having AOL keyword New York Times, I could just have NewYorkTimes.com. Okay.
Right.
And I could publish on NewYorkTimes.com a website with HTTP that a web browser would be able to render. Okay. So back then, web browsers were little rinky-dink things. They only had bold, italic text. Initially, they didn't even have any images. Okay. Then they added images, and then they added all this stuff that we know is Web 2.0. But the point is that even though it was worse technically than America Online, people prefer to own their own platform,
right,
than to have someone else own their platform. I see
where you're going with all this.
You see that? So yeah, basically, there is a huge difference between centrally owned and operated platforms like Twitter, right, is owned by Elon, or Facebook that is owned by Zuck. I don't know, always 4 letters. Yeah. Elon, Zuck. Bill.
Yeah.
But they're owned. It's not your platform, right? You can get deplatformed. And
Right.
the difference between that and the open web and the permissionless web, right, is huge. So the big winner of Web 2.0 was WordPress. And one of the most impressive things about WordPress is that it powers 40% of all websites in the world.
Yeah.
And you know this, many people don't know this crazy statistic. It's now more than 40%. It's always growing. And it's just impressive because that means if you're starting a website, you go to one of the hundreds or thousands of different hosting companies, do the WordPress one-click install.
Right.
Right. And now you've got a publishing platform.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, incidentally, New York Times was the first investor in WordPress, actually, funny enough.
Really? Huh.
Here in New York. Yep. They're based out of New York City.
Are you
One
in the
day-
city or
Huh?
you're in the city? Is that?
I'm in New York, man. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying that's where you live, like right in the city, or?
Oh, no. I live in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I used to live in the city before.
Gotcha.
But yeah. Also, I just want to say that Matt Mullenweg, who is the president of the company behind WordPress,
Yeah.
Automatic, they put $5 million recently into matrix.org. We would like them to also put money into qbix. It was just a grant, or no, maybe it's an investment. I don't know.
Right.
Those are the kinds of investors we want, like the
Right,
founders of WordPress.
Right.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah, that would be great. So if you happen to know people who know them, that would be great. Let's go on to, okay, so we've gone through Web 1.0 and we've gone through Web 2.0. Okay. And what the big takeaway is that there are two kinds of tools. There's the tools that allow you to be self-sovereign and have your own site, and that's WordPress. And then there's the tools that you are a guest or a sharecropper on someone else's website, right? You're creating content. I just read this article that like TikTok streamers feel they have to show up every day for a few hours. Otherwise, TikTok, like, they fall off the rankings. And, you know, and it's like, especially in like Asia, okay, in TikTok, they're like, oh my goodness, like they could be sick.
Yeah.
They're writing, right? And they still have to show up. They're like, oh, I have to.
Yeah.
They're sharecroppers for this online platform. You know, they're getting a little bit of the rewards, but ultimately, yes, it's helping them to build their channel, but
Right.
also it's whipping them into shape, right? You got to show up. You got to do this, you know?
Yeah.
And if you don't, we'll get someone else.
Right.
So the two platforms, there's nothing could be more different in the ethos. But most people don't understand. They think that WordPress is similar to medium.com, where you could read blogs, right? Or they think that Telegram and Twitter are similar to Mastodon or Matrix, okay? But they're not. One is controlled by a single company with servers, and you could be in Africa or France. Your signals are going to go to California. It's just, that's where it lives.
Yeah.
The other is we give you the software. We let you have profiles and chats and events and videos that just I've shown you. And you get to host it in your rural village with bad internet, because most of the stuff that you want to do doesn't need California and doesn't need Facebook or Google. You just want to date in your community. You just want to go see a doctor or go see a movie. Like 90% of what you want to do doesn't require the internet at all. Okay. The only reason why we have these companies and internet is the business model that led to Facebook. Okay. The people that invested in Facebook, like Peter Thiel, they write books and they give talks called "Competition is for Losers, Build a Monopoly." Okay. That is literally like competition is for losers, build a monopoly. You'll see Peter Thiel wrote in the Wall Street Journal. Okay. Very idiosyncratic views on capitalism from these guys. Okay. And this is the guys that taught Mark Zuckerberg. You know, Mark Zuckerberg used to have peer-to-peer ambitions. You used to have
Hmm.
Wirehog.
Right.
Wirehog was a peer-to-peer network. They killed it. Okay. Sean Parker and Peter Thiel and all those guys said, screw that. Centralize all the power in your network, extract rents from everybody, build a monopoly.
Yeah.
You build a billionaire. Then you can do whatever you want because we can all be rich then.
Right.
Right. You don't want your guy to go and build WordPress necessarily.
Right.
But these days in 2022, it turns out that building decentralized systems pays a lot of money. Look at Vitalik Buterin, right? Look at the founders of Ripple or anybody. So suddenly people figured out that building decentralized networks can be very lucrative.
Hmm.
Okay. And so we got Web3. With Web3, we have essentially the good parts of Web3 are these things. Okay. Smart contracts. That's the good part.
Yeah. People
conflate and it's okay that I'm like explaining this like this, like hopefully it's interesting.
Oh no, I mean I'm it's all stuff that I'm into and that I follow. So
exactly. I feel like
it's reinforcing,
Okay, so exactly. I'm trying to draw like these major themes, right? The major theme is centralization versus decentralization.
Uh-huh.
And so in the decentralized world, you could have NFTs, coins, okay? So these are fungible and non-fungible tokens, okay?
Right.
And so, but you own them. They're under your wallet, right? And you authorize these transactions that you want to have. You could also fundraise. You could have investors put in money and have full, you could prove to them certain things, like Binance is trying to prove how much funds they have, right? In the past, you would have to use auditors and just say, oh, just trust those guys. Lehman Brothers, oh yeah, they have a lot of collateral. Don't worry about it. We had a reputable auditing company, and then they go bankrupt.
Right.
And so that was in the past. Now they can say we have these assets, and you could look on the blockchain, right? You could be like, oh yeah, look at that. Oh, they do have these assets. It's right here.
Right.
I can see exactly what they have, and 0 Ether, okay, and so on. You understand?
Yep.
So you're able to see what each address has, and they can't lie about it anymore. So for fundraising, that's great because I could say, oh, $20,000 has already been committed to this thing, right? And sure, you could still say, well, it was committed by your friends, and later on you're going to send it back to them. So you don't solve everything.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You still can in the future, like send, or in the back channel, like give them back the money.
Right,
so
right.
It's not, the blockchain doesn't solve everything, but it does kind of say that, hey, at least there's $20,000. It's right here at this address, right? So anytime that you are raising money for a new venture project or whatever, Intercoin can help. And that's a very big use case of Intercoin. Okay. Raising money. And that's also nice because our clients don't have to have money to begin with. They'll give us a little bit, and then as they raise money, we could take some portion of it, like Kickstarter.
Okay.
DAOs.
That's what I was thinking too. Is Kickstarter? That's
right. So the crowdfunding, we could broker dealer. So like if we talk to David, okay, they have a broker dealer license. You get me? So we could partner together, and every project that they represent needs to raise money. We could help to build the funnel for it. I'll show you our funnel. In fact, you know what? I'll show you the funnel right now. I'll pause this. I'll show you the funnel right now. So say you want to join the Intercoin project. Here, let's help raise money for your charity, nonprofit, events, initiatives, right? Whatever you want to do, we help you raise money. Boom, put in your email. Boom, join the community. Look what comes up. Enter your full name, city, state, whatever. Boom, done. Okay. Next, what do you want to be preferred? WhatsApp. Okay. We could also do like Telegram, right? Username. So let's say WhatsApp. Next, we'll reach out to you. Just please enter a secret word, something that it's us. So like when we reach out to you, it's not a scam. You told us a secret word. It's us, right? Another thing you could do is you could have a group code. So we could have group discounts. So people investing in a certain thing, like we have innovations. Turns out it's legal to have group discounts.
Okay.
So this is like tiny text. We're testing the waters to gauge investor interest, blah, 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 blah. Okay, this is all latest like SEC allowed things, okay? Then you got a broker dealer to run your crowdfund on your site, on your own site. Okay, are you an accredited investor as defined here? So it goes to Wikipedia. The answer is, let's say, no, I am not an accredited investor. It's an interesting question if you have crypto. One day you're an accredited investor, next day you're not.
Okay.
It's depending on the price of crypto.
Yeah.
Did you reside in the US as defined here? Right? So let's say that you say, no, I don't reside in the US. How much are you looking to buy? All right. So here you could select how much you want to buy, click continue. You filled out your basic information. The next thing is you connect your Ethereum wallet. You click here and it detects your Ethereum wallet. And it adds the Intercoin token directly to the site, to your wallet. Everything is done right here. Then you want to do your government issued ID, upload your ID, right? I'm going to just upload like a picture just to show you, right? This is the picture. Boom. We're using qbix for this website.
Gotcha.
And we're using it in a completely different configuration. You're still uploading photos, but this time it's to get your ID uploaded, you see.
Right.
So that's what I'm talking about. You cannot just build a social network. You could build anything with qbix.
Greg, if I remember correct, was it that on mobile Intercoin was lacking, or I just remember us having some issues as to like what you were looking to get done versus what you already had out there. I think that's kind of like what we were talking about the last time.
Yeah, like last time we had some issues and then we fixed a lot of the issues. So now
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So this video that I'm recording, I'll send it to you. And then like from here, we could talk about how to design like the Intercoin app, which is the thing that we need to design. Okay. So accredited investor, I'll wrap up in like 5 minutes and then we'll talk. Like
yeah. No, that's fine.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, so like if you're an accredited investor, and again, you can click and see what it means. Upload a letter certifying that from your CPA. That's the easiest way. Okay, so you go to your CPA. If you don't have one, you click on Invest Ready and go through them and get your letter. Okay, so that's how it works. And boom, you can invest. Now, you won't need to be an accredited investor once we engage a broker dealer, because then you could do a crowdfund. Okay, so we've got Rialto Markets. We might have Republic or others who have crowdfunding platforms, but it happens to be that David and Liberty, right, associates, they have a broker dealer license. And that's all you need, really. You don't need the actual crowdfunding platform. You just need the license, and that they go ahead and, you know, do their due diligence, so to speak. Okay, they're the portal, if you will. And then we go and we bring people to this site. Now anybody can buy in any country except for OFAC countries like North Korea, Iran, Cuba. Okay. So that's how this works. Now, notice how easy it was for me to fill out my information, right? It was all pre-filled, super easy, right? And I could even add the token straight to my wallet. That's what we could do for any project. And that's just one example, right? So any project that wants to raise money can go through us. That's it. Okay.
And you already have that in place? Like anybody can come in and invest, you know, and buy Intercoin?
Yeah. Like you just click on, by the way, we currently don't have an offering live right now. And that's why we have this disclaimer text that we are testing the waters. But all that you did is you indicated how much you would be in for and so on. That is part of Test the Waters. Okay. And we have everyone's email. So when the thing actually starts, we could contact them and we could be like, oh, now you can send your Ethereum, you can send your money, and you can pay just like what I've done here, right? That you could pay. So that's basically what it is. All right. So let's continue now to what else can Intercoin do? This is like one application of it is raising money. Okay. Another one is DAOs. A DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. And I know when I first heard the word DAO, it sounded like the Tao of Steve, or DAO, the way. In Chinese, DAO means like way, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't know that either, but that's basically like a path or a way. Wait a second. Following. Oh yeah. Okay. DAO. Anyways, so Metaverse is another one. Metaverse, we don't do Metaverse, but we have partners who do Metaverse. Okay. So like what I've shown you with the avatar and the video that I've been doing here.
Yeah.
That is one of the partners of our partners.
Okay.
Meaning, like this whole video conferencing avatar thing.
Okay.
This thing. So we can incorporate that into your project.
Okay.
So putting it all together, what can we do? Essentially, what we could do is this. We could give you all the Web3 stuff, all the Web2 stuff, which is profiles, chats, events, videos, money with the banking system.
Yeah.
And also all the Web3 stuff, which is your own coin, your own NFT collections that you sell to raise money. You could sell money by other ways, like selling roles in your community. That's a DAO.
Yeah.
And unlike NFTs, the roles are not transferable. It's not like a mayor can suddenly transfer his mayorship to someone else personally.
Right.
So
right.
DAO involves voting. It involves the collective decision-making of the community. Okay. And then finally, through our partners, we could tie it all together so that your events can take place both virtually and in the real world simultaneously. Okay. So you could have a destination wedding where half the people show up and the other half are in the metaverse, and there's a big screen and they're interacting with each other through that screen. Okay. So that's an example. And so Web 2 plus Web 3 is Web 5. So long story short, we believe that since Web 1.0 completely disrupted America Online, CompuServe, and all of this, we believe that qbix will completely eventually disrupt all of these centralized networks that are essentially the same as America Online, all these. So Facebook is exactly the same as America Online. Instead of saying you've got mail, it just shows you these notifications here. Right? And instead of email, it's chats. But really, nothing's changed. It's literally just, instead of AOL chat rooms, it's this. So again, it's the same thing. People are addicted to the platform because they have no alternative. Okay. So WordPress is the alternative here. qbix is the alternative here. And Intercoin is here. So you might say, well, why do I need Intercoin? I have OpenSea. I can mint all of my tokens on OpenSea, right? Only one problem. OpenSea is centralized. They control everything. They can deplatform you and so on. And that goes back to the whole point, is that in every sector, there are the big centralized, big tech companies, which are billionaires, privately owned, whatever. And then there is the open source movement. So we're firmly in this camp. So let's finish out. So we could do all of this for you. That means it's your coin. It's not on OpenSea's platform. It's your coin. It's your website. It's your members. It's your events that take place online, offline. Your members connect on your platform and they don't go to your competitors. Now, the last thing I'm going to say, Intercoin is solving three things in the crypto space that are currently very backwards, or very behind the times. The first is that crypto needs to move beyond peer-to-peer. Think of your favorite crypto protocol that is decentralized. All right, we're talking about the decentralized movement, these guys, right? The problem with them is they're all connecting people one-to-one. What about entire communities of 100 people or 1,000 people, what can they do for them? Nothing. Name me one application on Web3 that serves a city or a community of any kind. Like to be the first to hear about Intercoin's roadmap and news? Definitely join and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click that little notification button so you can get updates when the next video drops. And the next time we interview a legend like Noam Chomsky or Patrick Friedman. And if you would like to participate in the conversation, go to community.intercoin.app. We'd love to hear from you and about your community. This is what the project is all about. Intercoin, bringing power to the people.